Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It looks like Coinbase is about to be sued by the SEC. We were looking at the Twitter thread by the chief legal officer of Coinbase right here. He says he talks a little bit of crypto, talks a lot of law, and way too much Ohio sports. So we're going to look at what he is saying right here. This is breaking news. This happened within the past couple of hours. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment so many of us have been waiting for. Now, I am no fan of Coinbase personally. I have not been using Coinbase since I think 2019. I'll talk about why a little bit later in the video. I don't necessarily think that Coinbase is serving the best interest of the average cryptocurrency investor. However, they have a business in the cryptocurrency space. They want to protect their business. And their attempt to be white hat, their attempt to be above board, to follow regulations, to be legally compliant is well documented in this Twitter thread. Yet now they are getting sued by the SEC. I want you to think for a moment that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into a business, into an emerging market, an emerging industry. And you being a good person, being a moral person, an ethical person, you don't have anything to hide. You decide, hey, we're going to reach out to the regulatory agencies and we're going to ask for guidance. We're going to say, hey, can you help us? Make certain that we're doing this right. We want to honor your rules. We want to honor your laws, your regulations. Please help us. And let's pretend that you didn't do it once, but you did it over and over and over again. And they never responded. They never told you you were doing anything wrong. In fact, they even blessed you to continue. They gave you acceptance to open your business and to run your business. And then later they smacked you with a lawsuit. Just imagine how crushing that would be to you and to your life's work. Now, Coinbase is a really big company. They're a public company, and I'm certain there's some very wealthy entrepreneurs that have really staked their reputation, their lives, and their livelihood and have given a lot to this company. But there are projects, smaller projects that people don't know about that this has actually happened to. And it is sad. And I've tried to cover it on my channel. One being right here, SEC. Listen, this was back in 2021 when I made this video, and it was a sad video to make because I knew most people didn't know what the LBRY lawsuit was all about, the LBRY token. But this was a project, the best decentralized YouTube platform that we have ever had. I used Bitcoin. I was trying to do everything I could from a attention grabbing standpoint. I talked about could Bitcoin be next, and I talked about the SEC versus cryptocurrency, doing everything that I could. But I was really trying. I even talked about the Ripple lawsuit in here. I was doing everything that I could to create attention to what was happening to the LBRY platform. Take a listen to this briefly. Today we're going to be talking about the SEC versus cryptocurrency. The SEC is coming after cryptocurrency. They're now in a lawsuit with a brand new crypto project called LBRY. First they came after Ripple. This lawsuit is still ongoing, and now they're going after the LBRY project or the LBC token. Rule that out. So here's the what happened with the LBRY case, by the way, because it's already over with. Essentially, LBRY loses the SEC case, calls ruling a dangerous precedent for crypto. It basically put the project out of business. The project still exists, meaning because it was a decentralized platform, the platform still exists, but there's very little development or movement going forward on the LBRY platform overall. According to LBRY, LBRY, the language in the court's ruling could make every cryptocurrency in the U.S. a security, including Ethereum. That was November 7th of 2022 when that was resolved, and they officially lost that case. So we're not even talking about a year later. And not enough people understood what was going on with LBRY, and it's unfortunate, but literally the same thing that's happening with Coinbase right now, LBRY did. LBRY, before they started their business, their CEO and their chief legal officer reached out to the SEC and asked for guidance on moving forward. Hey, here's what we would like to do. We want to make sure certain we're compliant. Can you give us guidance? And they basically said there's no clear guidance forward that we can give you. And it's like, okay, so what do? Can we go into business? Can we not go into business? Well, with Coinbase, it was actually worse. They never told LBRY, oh yeah, you're cleared, go in business. But Coinbase, the SEC basically did give them acceptance. So let's take a look at this. Now, I want to say this before I get into this Twitter thread, and it's an incredible read. I want to make it clear. I'm on the side of Coinbase here, no questions asked. I'm 100% team Coinbase, and everybody in crypto right now should be on team Coinbase in this lawsuit. Period. Now, with that being said, I don't care for Coinbase. I'm no longer a Coinbase customer. I'm not an active customer with Coinbase. Since I did this video where Coinbase sells data to the IRS and the DEA, almost nobody saw this video. I was very passionate in this video. I fully could not believe what was happening here. I'll link the video above. You can watch it. In fact, I'll make certain both these videos are up in the cards so you can watch them if you want to. But this is a video about Coinbase, looking out for Coinbase. Be damned with the average individual cryptocurrency investor and their rights. This was Coinbase looking out for Coinbase. However, in this case, what is it? An enemy of my enemy is my friend. And right now, the SEC is public enemy number one for crypto. And if Coinbase has the financial resources and they're willing to go to legal war with the SEC, then I'm willing to be on Team Coinbase and to see this through. So let's go through this thread very, very quickly, because I want to tell you right now I am about to do something drastic. I'm thinking about it. I don't want to say I'm going to commit to it. I'm thinking about doing something drastic. I have I haven't done this in about 3 or 4 years. And I may be taking some drastic steps as a cryptocurrency investor. But first, let's go through this. Coinbase received a Wells notice from the SEC. So if you don't know, a Wells notice is basically a legal document. It's basically, hey, just giving you a heads up. After years of asking for reasonable crypto rules, we're disappointed that the SEC is considering court over constructive dialogue. But if courts are required, so be it. We'll defend the rule of law. So a Wells notice is typically followed by an SEC legal action. In almost every case so far in the crypto space, when someone's got a Wells notice, it was only a matter of days to a week or two that they got notified that they were getting sued by the SEC. So they get a Wells notice first, and then they find out they got a formal lawsuit against them. We're going to go through this. He said after years of dialogue, and he's going to talk about what they've tried to do. They've been reaching out to the SEC proactively. You see, here's the thing. When companies typically do something illegal, they don't reach out to the SEC. What most people don't know, the SEC goes after traditional Ponzi scams, for example. And if you ever have seen a Ponzi scam, like a real Ponzi scam, Bernie Madoff style, you got some friends or family members trying to tell you they're in this thing and they're getting paid, 12% a year, 10% a year, 3% a month, something like that. And you need to get in on this thing. And you look at it and you can't figure out how they're earning the returns, but somehow they're getting these magical returns over and over again. And you think it's a Ponzi scam. And then you realize there's millions and millions of dollars in this thing. And you ask yourself, how in the world does the SEC not come after this? Because the SEC typically is complaint driven. It's only after people can't get their money back that they start filing complaints with the SEC. Eventually, the SEC opens an investigation. That is typically how it works with the SEC. That's typically how it works with the FTC, by the way, the Federal Trade Commission. They are complaint-driven organizations because they don't typically have the manpower to actively go after all these companies. Yet now, by the way, there are dollar-based Ponzi scams going on today. But now they're going after technology. They're going after companies, publicly traded companies, mind you, that has reached out to them proactively for years and said, give us guidance. We want to make sure we're doing this right. And that's what Paul is saying right here. He's saying, hey, we've spent years trying to have dialogue. And instead of saying, hey, you're doing that wrong, hey, that's illegal, instead they're slapping them with a lawsuit. All right, let's keep going. He said, over the past 9 months, Coinbase has met with the SEC more than 30 times. That's more than 3 times per month. That's more than every other week. Sharing details of our business to build a path to registration. During this time, the SEC hasn't given basically zero feedback on what to change or how to register. Instead, today we received a Wells notice. I'm telling you, this is ridiculous and this is corruption. He goes on to say, oh, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. When Coinbase filed to go public in 2021, our S1 described our business in much detail, including 57 references to staking and details to our asset listing process. The SEC approved us to go public, knowing those details. Now they've changed their mind on what is allowed. This right here is what I'm saying. In the LBRY case, the SEC didn't do this because they never went public. They went public here. The SEC had to sign off on their business and allow them to go public. They never gave any guidance. They never said this is wrong. Instead, they said, yes, go public. I literally believe that there should be a class action lawsuit because there's no way this does not affect Coinbase's price as a public company. There should be a class action lawsuit against the SEC, and if possible, a direct personal lawsuit against Gary Gensler. Literally, just to make a point. And these so-called politicians and regulators can affect average people's lives, yet they can do this at no risk to themselves. If these regulators had the same financial risk, stress, or career turmoil put against them, then maybe they wouldn't do such nonsense as this, which is literally potentially wrecking other people's lives and other people's finances. In 2018, look at this. We acquired 2 broker-dealer licenses in an effort to become regulated by the SEC. These licenses are currently dormant, and we have been unable to activate them with the SEC for digital asset securities. So they got 2 licenses to be regulated, yet the SEC won't allow them to activate the licenses. Last July, we filed a petition with the SEC calling for more regulatory clarity. We have yet to receive a response to our petition. So they filed a legal request, a legal petition, a legal document saying, hey, can you give us some clarity? They didn't get the clarity, and now they're getting slapped with a lawsuit. How is this possible? This should not be possible. We're not talking about a third world kangaroo court country, or are we? I mean, Gary Gensler is literally making a mockery of our entire regulatory system that exists, which is supposed to protect average investors, and right now is doing nothing but causing pain and uncertainty for people's futures. And never mind putting America behind on the cryptocurrency revolution. For comparison, over many years, we have been unable to successfully become a licensed and regulatory crypto business in a number of other, For many years, we have been able to successfully become a licensed and regulatory crypto business in a number of other jurisdictions around the world, including Singapore, Ireland, Australia, and Germany. We've also been able to successfully become regulated by another U.S. federal regulator, obtaining our DCM and DCO license from the CFTC, and by many U.S. state regulators. The SEC remains a sole outlier here. The problem with this that I have with this is it's unfair. Unfortunately, Coinbase can't say, hey, their legal defense can't be for a legal defense against the SEC, they're not able to say, hey, the CFTC agreed with this. Many lawmakers agree with this. Many state regulatory agencies agree with this. We got our DCM and our DCO license, which I actually don't even know what those are, but they've got them from the CFTC. We've previously been allowed to go public by the SEC, but somehow none of that counts, and they just get a lawsuit anyway. Gary Gensler is wasting taxpayer dollars. This is ridiculous. We don't list securities. Here we go. Of the thousands of plus crypto assets Coinbase has reviewed over the years, only roughly 240 of those have met our standards to list on our platform. We believe a large number of securities also exist and should be available to register and trade on SEC registered brokerage and exchanges, a point we've made repeatedly in our discussions. The truth is that today there is no clear rulebook from the SEC on crypto, and efforts to engage with the SEC are met with silence or enforcement actions. They have not followed a good faith rulemaking process with the industry as required under the APA. Now, I don't even know what the APA is, but I want to take a look at this sentence right here. He says, there's no clear rulebook on the SEC, and efforts to engage with the SEC are met with silence or enforcement. Those are the only 2 options. You ask for help, you ask for guidance, you get silence. Or worse, They slap you with an enforcement action. And now you've got to spend money defending yourself going to court. At times, the SEC and the CFTC don't agree on the definition of a commodity or a security. For instance, the CFTC chair has said Ethereum was a commodity, while the SEC chair has hinted Ethereum might be a security. Even when giving us our Wells notice, the SEC wouldn't specify that's miswritten, wouldn't specify assets giving them concern or what specific arguments that we've made on staking are wrong. Instead, we're simply told to consider the chair's generic statements. And again, here they are basically trying to play coy and fast and loose. Here's the problem. Paul's going to and his team of lawyers are going to go in front of a judge. And this is going to get in front of that judge, and it's very possible he's a politically connected, possibly a biased judge, almost guaranteed he's going to be over 50, which he's of a generation that is biased against cryptocurrency in many cases because they simply don't understand it. And Gary Gensler's doing everything he can to make certain that he doesn't make any missteps like have been made in the Ripple case. So he's trying not to say anything. It's clear the legal wrangling that's happening. It's unfortunate. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. It's un-American. And there are real lawsuits happening right now by the SEC against individuals for talking about promoting these celebrities promoting cryptocurrency. And the reason that these lawsuits are happening, costing real people real money. And the reason these lawsuits are happening is not because he's looking out for the little guy, because he keeps saying they're promoting a registered security. Yet no one has actually defined which cryptocurrency is a security. So it can therefore be unregistered or registered. In fact, if you try to register a cryptocurrency, you cannot do it. But yet somehow it's a security. It's absolute garbage. And I don't care if it was Logan Paul. I don't care who it was. There's a video I was going to make about CoffeeZilla claiming everybody should base all these other influencers like, I don't know, a bunch of them. He lists a bunch of them. And he somehow thinks they should all be held for somehow legal account for promoting. There are some things people do wrong. But promoting an unregistered security according to the SEC is not one of them. That is garbage. Let's keep going. It is hard to throw the rule book at an entire economic sector when there is no rule book, and the people responsible for the rule book can't even agree themselves what the rule book should say, even as we have asked for a rule book. So what happens next? We avail ourselves of the court system to finally start to get some clarity for the crypto industry in the U.S. Ironically, establishing some case law may be our best shot at getting the regulatory clarity that the industry deserves. You can see the Wells notice for yourself, and he listed it here. Holy crap, dude. The SEC did not approve you. They don't do that. Registration for securities is not an approval process. This person here is an absolute freaking moron. Please go back to school. The SEC did not approve Coinbase. The SEC does not, yada, yada, yada. As a matter of fact, the SEC cannot prevent you from filing a registration statement. People just don't understand what registration under the 1933 Securities Act entails. Yada, yada, yada. Jason, then why don't you and your moronic self reach out to the SEC and ask for clarity? Why don't you see if you can get some clarity for everyone instead of just throwing knives and daggers at an entire industry? I don't even know who you are, but that was a moronic statement. Ladies and gentlemen, the SEC is getting sued. I'm sorry, Coinbase is getting sued by the SEC. This absolutely is Team Crypto. This is not about tribalism. I don't care if you like Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum. Someone said, I read it earlier on Twitter. This isn't about being in different houses. We're all in the same house, just a different room. We are all a part of the future. We just have different priorities on what this technology should be used for. At the end of the day, this is a call to unify crypto and to hold the SEC accountable to what they're doing, running roughshod over our industry, which is genuinely hurting average investors. Are there things wrong in crypto? Yes. Do we need some sort of enforcement actions in crypto for bad actors? Absolutely. No question about it. But going after Coinbase, a publicly traded company that has been allowed to go public by the very SEC that now issues its a Wells notice, that's garbage. That is absolute garbage. Now, I want to tell you something that because of this, there's something that I'm considering doing, and I'll just share it with you. By the way, this is not investment advice. Don't take it as investment advice. I don't mean it that way. I'm not telling you that you should do this. But for me personally, I have not brought any major amount of fiat in to crypto. I've not brought any US dollars into crypto for several years. And most of what I have, I've made from gains. I earn cryptocurrency passively and that sort of thing. So I've not actually brought in fresh capital for several reasons. But however, I'm looking to bring in potentially, I'm going to think this through. I'm not telling you I'm going to do this, but I'm looking to bring in big deposit, maybe as much as 6 figures into crypto. And the reason that I want to do this is because I think it's possible they're going to cut off more of our own ramps. You know, they went after Silvergate Bank, they went after Signature Bank. Those are two major own ramps for US dollars. And I'm thinking I want to get it in crypto. Eventually, we will have on and off ramps again, no matter what they are. I mean, crypto wins long term. That is my personal belief. I'm very biased to that. I believe there's no stopping this technology. I don't care if Coinbase gets sued out of business. It doesn't matter. Blockchain will always exist. It will always be an exchange of value. I don't know what that value will be, but on a sheer principle, humanity will always have the ability, if two parties want to, they can exchange value over a blockchain. I believe that is extraordinary. I believe one day Bitcoin goes to $1 million. I genuinely believe that. I believe the vision of Ethereum will be completed by Ethereum or someone else. I genuinely believe Web3 is a big deal. It's going to transform the world. I believe in this technology through and through. No questions asked. I believe NFTs are in their infancy. I don't think the best use case is art. I think there are much more incredible, more valuable use cases of NFTs, and we're going to see that in the future. Government supporting it or not. But however, the challenge is going to be getting funds in, getting funds out. I want to be able to interact in this space. I want to be able to grow my crypto holdings. I want to be able to compound my crypto holdings. I'm earning passive income now. Many of you know about my copy trading journey going from $500 to $5,000 per month. I'll link that in the description if you want to check it out. But I fully believe in this journey. I'm investing in the gaming space. I'm looking for a full blockchain gaming ecosystem to come in the future. There's so many things that I'm paying attention to. I'm paying attention to, I don't have time to talk about all the investments that I'm looking at, but continue to subscribe to my channel. Continue to follow me. I believe in this space. I was in this space before it was popular. I will be in this space if it becomes unpopular again. When there's a bull market, we see crypto channels getting a lot of views. When there's a bear market, they get a lot less views. It doesn't matter. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. I believe in this space and I want to see this space do well. I am rooting for Coinbase. And in this scenario, Coinbase is treating crypto. Please share with me your thoughts down in the comments. If there's anyone that doesn't know about what's happening with this Coinbase lawsuit, even if they're vaguely interested in crypto, do me a favor, share this video with them. Let them hear from someone who believes in this technology, who understands this technology, and can explain what's going on. And I can share this Twitter thread here with Paul. Good luck, Paul. Good luck, Coinbase. Good luck, cryptocurrency. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.